Now we're going to talk about understanding your emotions. So, first, we need to understand what emotions are. Emotions are signals that tell your mind and body how to react. Sometimes referred to as feelings, emotions are your responses to certain thoughts and events. Communicating emotions effectively is key to building and maintaining healthy relationships. Emotions affect all sides of your health triangle. Joy can prompt the release of brain chemicals that cause you to experience warmth and a sense of well being. Feeling this way promotes mental and emotional health and positively influences your relationships and thus your social health. Fear can trigger physical changes, including increased perspiration, an increase in heart rate, and tightening of the muscles. This fight or flight response enables you to defend yourself or flee the scene. Strong emotions like anger can cause both physical and mental responses, such as an increase in heart rate and feelings of distress. Inappropriate responses, such as lashing out, can be harmful to you or the people around you. So now let's talk about identifying emotions. Sometimes you know exactly what you're feeling and why. At other times, you may experience emotions that seem to have no apparent cause. Moreover, the many changes brought on by hormones during puberty can affect your emotions. A hormone is a chemical secreted by your glands that regulates the activities of different body cells. Hormones can cause you to swing quickly between extreme emotions such as elation and depression. Mixed emotions, such as when you feel both jealousy and happy for a friend, also can be challenging. Accurately identifying what you are feeling is an important first step towards knowing how to respond in a healthy way. So let's talk about happiness. Think of other words that might describe how you feel when you're happy. You might say you are pleased or that you feel good or carefree. Happiness can be described as being satisfied or feeling positive. When you're happy, you usually feel energetic, creative, and sociable. Sadness. Sadness is a normal, healthy reaction to difficult events. Causes of sadness can range from being disappointed or rejected to experiencing the loss of a loved one. Feelings of sadness may be mild and fleeting, or they may be deep and long lasting. When you are sad, you may feel easily discouraged and have less energy. Love. Love involves strong affection, deep concern, and respect. It includes supporting the growth and individual needs of another person, and respecting that person's boundaries and values. Love can be expressed through words or actions, such as good deeds. It comes in many forms, such as caring about family and friends, loyalty to siblings, and a deep sense of being connected to your community and country. Empathy. Empathy is the ability to imagine and understand how someone else feels. When you feel empathy, you are connected to another person's emotions. An empathetic person listens attentively and communicates understanding towards others. Demonstrating empathy can help build and maintain healthy relationships. Fear. When you're startled by someone or something, you probably feel some degree of fear. Feelings of fear can increase your alertness and help you escape from potentially harmful situations. However, fear that results from an imagined threat can prevent people from leading normal lives. For example, an exaggerated fear of being in a crowd can result in a life of solitude. This type of fear is called a phobia and requires professional help. Guilt. Guilt often results from acting against one's values or from failing to act when action might have brought about a better outcome. Although guilt can eat you up, it can also act as your conscience and motivate you to make some positive changes in your behavior. Sometimes people may feel guilty for things they have no control over. For example, some teens blame themselves when parents divorce, even though they are not the cause of the separation. Being able to recognize when you are responsible for a negative outcome will save you from feeling needless guilt. Anger. Anger is a common reaction to being emotionally hurt or physically harmed. When anger isn't handled in a constructive way, it can result in violence, bringing violence and emotional harm to you and others. Hostility, which is the intentional use of unfriendly or offensive behavior, can be particularly damaging, not only to others but also to the hostile person. People who show chronic hostile behavior are 4 to 7 times more likely to die of heart disease than those who are not prone to hostility. Knowing what causes your anger and how to respond to it healthfully can help you gain control. Now let's talk about managing our emotions. So, emotions are neither good or bad. How you deal with your emotions, however, can strongly influence your overall level of health. Learning to recognize emotions and dealing with them in healthful ways are especially important to good mental health. So, let's talk about dealing with emotions in positive ways. As you are growing up, you've learned various positive and negative ways of expressing your emotions from your environment, from your experiences, and from others, such as your peers, your family, and your friends. Perhaps your family member talk openly about their feelings and encourage sharing them. Maybe your friends express themselves indirectly like looks or smiles or the behaviors such as laughing or hugging. Perhaps some of your peers don't talk about or express feelings much, and you've learned from their example that emotions are private. Regardless of what you have learned, it is important to evaluate strategies for communicating emotions and needs and practice helpful ways of expression. Negative ways of dealing with feelings do nothing to solve problems. Exaggerating emotions for effect, pretending that feelings are not there at all, or intentionally hurting another person while expressing feelings can worsen the situation and create new problems. So, responding to your emotions. You can use some of the following strategies for interpreting and responding to most emotions. Look below the surface of your emotion. Ask yourself, what am I really reacting to? Does the intensity of my emotion match the situation? Consider whether or not the situation to which you are reacting to will matter tomorrow, next week, or next year. Don't take action on a strong feeling until you have thoroughly considered the possible consequences of your action. Use positive feelings to inspire yourself. Relieve negative or upsetting feelings by engaging in physical activities or by talking to a family member or a trusted friend. If a negative feeling doesn't go away, seek help from a parent, another trusted adult, or a healthcare professional. Now let's talk about managing difficult emotions. You've probably been overwhelmed by strong emotions at one time or another. Intense emotions can affect your attitudes and behavior in ways that are upsetting. However, you can learn to manage strong emotions. When you feel your emotions building, recognize the feeling and manage it by taking slow, deep breaths and relaxing. You might also get away from the situation to compose yourself. Sometimes you can control your feelings by analyzing the situation that caused them. Writing in a private journal, playing music, or talking your feelings over with a parent or a trusted friend can help you reflect on both your emotions and the situation that led to them. So, your defense mechanisms. Because of the way emotions affect you, you may try to avoid the ones that cause you discomfort by using defense mechanisms. These are mental processes that protect individuals from strong or stressful emotions and situations. Sometimes these responses occur unconsciously and may help you protect from feeling too much emotional pain. For instance, the use of suppression, holding back, and restraining can provide a temporary escape from an unpleasant situation. In the long run, however, defense mechanisms may keep you from facing what is really troubling you. That's why it's important to develop strategies for dealing with difficult emotions in healthful ways. Handling fear. Fear is an emotion many people work to overcome. Overcoming fear requires a strategy. The first step is to identify your fear. Analyzing the situation that causes the fear often helps. Talking about your fear with someone you trust may also give you a fresh outlook. This person may remind you of other fears you have faced successfully and know of resources that can help you. Some fear is healthy and natural. Only when fears are rational and uncontrollable should you consider it a problem. Dealing with guilt. Guilt can be a very destructive emotion. When you feel guilty about something, try to get to the underlying source and address that issue. If you have hurt someone, for example, admit your mistake and make amends. Learn from the experience and resolve to be more careful and responsible in the future. Discussing the situation with family and friends may also help you feel better. Keep in mind that some situations may not be in your control. Viewing such circumstances realistically and honestly will help you see that you are not responsible and should not feel guilty for them. Managing anger. The first step in constructively dealing with anger is similar to dealing with guilt. You must try to get to the underlying source and address it. Even if there is nothing you can do about the source of your anger, you can try to find ways to cope with your feelings. That is the end of chapter 7.